welcome to this training. This training is going to be on how to free up time in your online course business and focus on the more important tasks. So we're really trying to figure out how to buy back or get back more time in our business so that we can focus on the things that really need to be done. And that's what this training is going to be about. Oh, Queen, nice. My son went through a Queen phase and really liked them a lot. So I always knew Bohemian Rhapsody and a couple other songs, but I have a very well versed in Queen nowadays. No particular band. Nice. Okay. Cool. So what you can expect in this training is we are going to talk for about 30 to 45 minutes. I'll provide as much value as I can. I really want you to respond, drop questions, ask questions, anything that I can do to help you out. If you don't understand something, let me know in the chat. If you have any questions, we can get to those at the end if they don't pertain to the slides. So we will talk for about 30, 45 minutes of me just giving you value. And then at the end of the session, we'll do a Q&A time. So if you're watching a replay of this somewhere and you have not signed up already, please go to onlinecoursetraining.com. You can sign up there. And when you do, I will send you a link to view these trainings. And you can use the same link every week. And so you just have to save that link. And then every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern or 10 a.m. PST Pacific time in the US, you can come on these trainings. Each week we do something different. Usually on Mondays, I'll send out an email and I'll let you know what the training is going to be on. And then I answer Q&A at the end on anything that you have regarding online course creation, marketing, or selling. And so if you want to have your questions answered, come to these trainings and hang out. If you don't, you can watch a replay. I'll put the replays up for you to watch. But if you really want a little additional help with any questions you have, this is a great time to do it. And I'm going to be doing these every week. Again, Thursdays, 1 p.m. Eastern time, 10 a.m. Pacific time. So if you could just go ahead and take a moment and turn off your phone, your notifications, put the kids in the other room with the iPads, whatever you have to do to give me your focused, undivided attention. You might be multitasking. You might have multiple Chrome windows open right now. Shut those down, close them out, and just focus for a minute. All I'm asking is for 30 to 45 minutes of your time. I know you are busy, and that's why I want to get through this quickly and just try to provide as much value as I can. But, I just ask that you give me your time so that you can pay attention and hopefully get something from this. I know we have tons of distractions in our life. So turn off those notifications, put your phone on airplane mode, whatever you have to do. And let's just pay attention for a minute and focus, ask me questions, give me feedback, anything that you need help with, and I will be sure to reciprocate that to you. So if you don't know me, which I think all of you do who are watching right now, but if you're watching a replay or you're just tuning in and you don't know who I am, my name is Jeremy Deegan. Nice to meet you. I am the host of the Online Course Igniter podcast, where I interview successful online course creators. I've been a course creator myself for about 8 years now, built a successful business doing that, have made plenty of money to support my family. We travel all over the country. Hopefully we'll get to travel across the world as soon as world kind of settles down and opens up and allows people to kind of travel a little more freely like it used to. But we like to travel. We like to hang out. I love surfing. I love music. And that's just a little bit about me. So I've been doing this for a while, and I've learned a lot of things along the way. I've had the pleasure to talk to hundreds and thousands of course creators. Many of the people who are tuning in right now and who are responding in the chat, I've become good friends with. I've had the chance to interview dozens of people on the podcast and figure out how they became successful and what pitfalls and roadblocks that they ran into. And so I feel like I've learned a lot. I currently coach and help people with online courses, and I just want to provide this training to help you out. So hopefully it does that for you. So who is this specific presentation that I'm doing today for? This is for you if you're finding it difficult to juggle everything that needs to be done in your online course business. So maybe you have a lot going on, a lot of tasks and different things that are happening, and you really need help managing that. That is who we are talking to today. So are you someone who needs help figuring out which tasks you need to be focusing your efforts on to maximize your time in your business? If you are watching live right now, please in the chat, go ahead and let me know before. Is this something that you struggle with? Let me know in the chat. If you are watching a replay, maybe there's a comment section, it's on YouTube or something like that, go ahead and put in the comments. I like to respond to everyone that I can. And so let me know, are you someone who needs help figuring out what tasks to focus on? I know that as specifically online course creators, there are dozens, if not hundreds of tasks that need to be done to create, publish, sell an online course, along with everything else that goes with the business. It doesn't have to necessarily relate to the online course part. It might be, doing your taxes or setting up your business or posting on social media. So let me know in the comments or in the chat if this is something that you're struggling with. So Michael says, everything. Yeah, I get it. Currently building the course now. You will find out there's a lot of things that go into it. There's greatness on the other side of that process. So please finish your course and get it out. There's people who need to hear that, Michael. But yeah, I know it can be tricky. So the goal for this presentation is to help you free up more time with this one method that I'm going to be teaching you, to know exactly which tasks you should be working on, and to actually save money in your business by doing this method that I'm going to show you. We're going to actually show you a way to help you save money, make money, and do all the great things that come with running a business and trying to make some profit. So I want you to think in your mind for a second, if you want to close your eyes and imagine this, but wouldn't it be great to focus on the more important roles in your business instead of being tied down to the day-to-day operations that don't really move you forward? This is what we call working in our business and not working on our business. And this is a trap that we fall into. We're solopreneurs, we're by ourselves, and we begin doing all of the tasks. You are the person scripting. You are the person recording and editing and publishing and writing copy and marketing and selling. And I know that there's a lot that goes into this. And I just want to imagine, what would your life be like if you could come to a point where you didn't have to focus on these day-to-day tasks and you could focus more on the most important tasks that you need to focus on. We're going to talk about that here coming up a little bit in the future. So just take a moment and envision, what would you do all day? What would your life be like? What could you accomplish and get done if you had more time and if you were focusing on just the important things and not the menial day-to-day operations? So would you like to learn this method of maximizing your time and making money? Let me know in the comments. Is this something that you struggle with? Is this something you would like to learn? So would you like to find out how I go about maximizing my time and in return in the process also make more money? This is something that goes hand in hand. So we got yes, sure, cool, definitely. A lot of people want to know this information. Awesome. Okay. So I'm going to let you know about a little adventure that I went on. Some people know my story, some people don't. I'll make sure that I keep it pretty quick. I started 8 years ago on the Udemy platform. Udemy is an online course marketplace that allows you to upload your courses. They help sell them. I say help because it's not 100% them selling them for you, but it is a place where you can put up some courses and you can get some traffic and you can start making sales. I actually made about $24 my very first month of putting it up on the platform. And the second month I made about $800. Now I was doing a lot. It wasn't just all them, but I was creating these courses. Well, when that happened, when I created that first course, I realized the potential of making money with online courses. And I got really, really excited. And I made another course. You can see here that the courses that I made were on Canva. So my first course was Canva for Beginners. It's a graphic design program that I began using. I really enjoyed it. The rating has gone down because it's outdated and people continue to buy it. And they're like, hey, the program doesn't even look like it used to back in the day. I haven't taken it down. Most people don't buy it. Every now and then I get someone who does and they give it a bad review, but you can see the rating's gone down. But back in the day, it was a much higher rated course and it was selling really well. And I got excited and I wanted to do another one. Now I have a background in graphic design. I have my degree is actually in computer animation. And so I went and I created another course. It was a Canva for Beginners Graphic Design Theory Volume 1. And what this was a course where I used Canva, but I was showing graphic design principles. So the first course taught you how to use Canva. The second course was some design theory where I said, okay, let me think about some things that people would need help with. And that's like typography and color theory and structure and spacing and lines and stuff like that. So I created that course. I created a volume 2 to that course because it did really well. Then I created a graphic design theory introduction course. I realized this was kind of a hot topic, but people were coming in and realizing that they had no graphic design theory knowledge whatsoever. And I was kind of jumping into the meat and the potatoes. And so what I did was I created an introduction course. Then I wanted to do something different. And I was really into personal branding at the moment. And so I went and I created a personal brand building course. So as you can see, in a very short period of time, I was pumping out a lot of courses. And what I found out specifically for the Udemy marketplace, not talking to people who are outside of the marketplace, because I feel like you can have one course and be very successful. But specifically with Udemy, the thing is, the more courses you create, the better chance you have of success, because once you create one course, you can promote your newer courses to people who have taken your first course. And as you create your third course, you can promote it to your first and second courses. So I realized that there was a lot of money to be made in creating multiple courses. So I got into this hamster wheel where I was creating lots of courses, lots of scripting, lots of editing, lots of production. And it was really starting to kind of burn me out a little bit, but I was making some decent money in the beginning and I was happy with that. And so I really wanted to keep it going, but it was really having a really hard time on me, on my family. Does anyone else feel like that who's watching this right now? Like anyone who's created a course so far, have you been in there? I know Thomas is watching. I know Thomas has created a lots of courses and probably knows exactly what I'm talking about. Like you get into this hamster wheel where you want to create new courses and new content to make more money and help more people, but it's also very, very draining, right? And so I started creating all these courses. And then I started to work on this course. This course is my GarageBand Masterclass. It does very well. It's if you go on Udemy and you type in GarageBand, it'll be in the number 1 or number 2 spots, depending on me and this other guy kind of go back and forth on it. But you can see it's got 4.7 ratings. It's got 31,000 students. It's got almost 1,100 ratings. I'm sorry, 4.7 stars, I meant to say. It's 5 hours of content. And it's a really good course. I was very happy with this. I'm happy with the way it turned out. But this course was different. And this is the reason why. Actually, I'm not going to tell you the reason why yet. I'm going to make you wait and see if you can guess. Obviously, if you're watching this and you've seen the title, you might be able to guess. So I want to see if y'all can figure this out. So I created this course. And if you look at the date there, it says last updated in November of 2018. That's when I published it. So about 4 years ago. Hold on one sec. We got some more people joining. Let me let them in. So I created this course and it's done really well and it's been profitable and everything has been going really, really well. So this is my actual graph revenue of Udemy. I've hidden the numbers, just for privacy's sake. But you can see here, this graph tells you a couple different things. So what happened when I made this course? As you can see in the beginning, let's say May 15th through September 18th. So what is that about? 2.5, about three years and a couple months. The graph was pretty steady. Now I was making some pretty decent money. I mean, I wasn't complaining. I was still working a full-time job, but I was bringing in some money. And this was a nice little chunk of change that I could use to work on more courses, buy equipment, take my family out to dinner, go on little vacations. You can see these spikes around November and January. That's usually the holiday sales, like the Black Friday in January. So you'll see November 16th and 17th, I had these big bumps and then it died back down. And then November, January of 2017 and 18, it bumped up a little bit. But if you look at this as a line graph, it was pretty steady across the board other than those sales, right? And I was creating courses, so you can see it went up and down a little bit. But then remember, I created that GarageBand course in November. And I put an arrow vertically pointing down at that date. Now, of course, we had some sales, but the graph never went back down and continued to skyrocket. And this is where I made the most success and money on this platform over the next, what do we have at 3-4 years. Now, I haven't published a course on the platform in a couple years now. You can still see I make really good money on the platform, quite passively. And so that graph actually continues to go up a little bit. It looks like in the past year or two, because I haven't published anything new, it might have tapered off a little bit. It could go back up, it could drop. We'll see what happens. But from the date that I published that GarageBand course, this graph continued to move in an upward trend. Can anyone in the chat right now tell me what I did differently? And I will wait and grab a sip of water and see if anyone can guess. So anyone who's watching right now live, let me know in the chat, please take a guess. What changed from the first 3 years to the last 3 years that gave me a major boost in revenue? Bestseller tag. Yeah, that helps. Being number one does help. So good keyword research, but I wouldn't say that was the number one driver. Anyone else? Michael, Emily, other Thomas, you started attracting rockers who wanted to buy your course. Rockers? Rock stars? Maybe. You said rockers, and I was thinking of grandma and grandpa in their rocking chair going back and forth. Yeah, rockers from GarageBand. Yeah, rock stars. I thought that's what you meant, Emily. No problem. Okay, yes. Automated is closer. You're correct. So yes, you are correct. You know, bestseller tags, keyword research, getting people to my course, promoting it, selling it. Yes, all had an impact. But if you remember on Udemy, as you make more courses, you can begin promoting your material to previous students. What happened differently is I began creating a lot more content at this point. I actually hunkered down and was able to really produce lots and lots of content. And the way that I did that, I'll tell you my little secret, is I outsourced a lot of the things I was doing. The GarageBand course was the first time that I hired someone to edit the videos for me. Now, if you have not created a course, or if you haven't done YouTube and you haven't edited a video before, this might be news to you. But when you go to edit a video, it takes a lot of time, much more time than it takes to record the video if you're not just slapping it together and throwing it up there. So this course is actually edited very nicely. I have transition titles. I have things flying in and flying out. I show keyboard shortcuts. And so one 15-minute of video on that course could take maybe an hour to 2 hours of editing time. Now you got to imagine I have 5 hours of content. And so if we were to say times that by, 5 or so, that could be 250 hours. No, 5 times 5, 25 hours of editing content. Probably much more than that, though. I would say 25 is on the light side for that course. Is probably who knows, maybe 60 to 80 hours of just the editing process. It takes a long time. So anyone who's created a course obviously knows that. So what I did was I reached out and I started to try to find someone to help me edit the course. And I found a great guy. I edited some videos and then I taught him how to do it. And if you go watch that course, you can't tell the videos that I edited and the videos he edited. Now, when I did that, it totally freed up a lot of time that I had. And I was able to actually focus on the marketing, and I was able to focus on creating the next course. And so this big spike that you see here is when I really started to hire people out. That was one of the key secrets that I had with building my online course empire. So after that day, I realized that outsourcing tasks would move my business faster than trying to do everything by myself. Since then, I have outsourced everything from graphic design to podcast editing to back-end work to research for my market. So I've hired people to do research. I've hired people to edit my podcast. Actually, I do not edit my podcast. I hardly do anything on my podcast anymore. I record, I schedule, and I talk to people to get them to fill out an application. I schedule the date with them, and then I record the audio and I hand it off from there. I have other people who take care of all the other aspects of the course, including transcribing it, editing it, getting it published, all that stuff. So I have about 4 or 5 weeks of content ready to be published, and I haven't really touched that podcast at all. I do some other things right now. I do need to hire out 1 or 2 more pieces, and then it will be 100% hands off. So I realized that I could outsource things, and this was going to give me back a lot of my time. And if you follow any successful entrepreneurs, this is what happens. In the beginning, you have to do everything, and you don't have a lot of time. And as you begin to make money, you begin to buy back your time with help. And the great thing about that is not only are you getting time, but typically you find people who are better doing the thing than you are doing. So the guy who edits my podcast is an audio engineer. That is his job. He's been doing for 30 years. The guy is magnificent. I know some audio engineer stuff, but this guy, that's his role in life. And he is amazing at it. So why not let the professional who knows what they're doing better than you handle the work and buy back some of your time? So because of outsourcing, I've been able to free up more of my time. I've been able to focus on more important tasks, and I have grown my business exponentially. You can see that just in my Udemy graph. That's not even the other business that I have now that's doing well above and beyond that. That was just my Udemy stuff, where you see that line was flat all the way across. And once I started outsourcing the editing and different parts of marketing and things like that, it skyrocketed, because now I can focus on the things that are actually going to make money and not be stuck editing 20 hours, 40 hours, or 60 hours on one course. So, are you ready to learn how you can maximize your time and profits by hiring others to help you do the work? Who wants to learn this? If you're watching right now, let me know in the chat. Is this something that interests you? Is this something that you would like to learn? Have you thought about this before? Let me know. I love communication. So y'all who are posting in the chat, I really do appreciate it. I'm watching it. I'm reading it. Michael says yes. So awesome. Okay, let's talk about this, because I feel like this is really important. This is what's going to take your business from being a hobby to making a little bit of money to being a side hustle to a legitimate business that you can grow, right? Thomas says, sure, I already do, but like to learn more. Yeah, Thomas, you're an ace, man. I know you know a lot of this stuff already. So hopefully I can give you a couple gold nuggets in here. And if you have any knowledge that you can drop about this as we go along, I'm sure other people would love to hear about it as well. So the first thing that we're going to talk about here, oh wait, hold on. I need to move my window. My window's in the way here. The first thing that we're going to talk about is the importance of documentation, okay? So the first thing that, you would ask yourself is like, yeah, Jeremy, this is great. I want to outsource, but I don't even know where to begin. Like, I don't know how to get started, what to choose, how to outsource, any of that stuff. We're going to talk about that. It can be difficult and it can be hard when it's your first time doing this, but once you learn how to do it, man, it pays off big time. So let's talk about the podcast. So when I began the Online Course Igniter podcast, which is my main business now, teaching people all about online courses, I knew that outsourcing would play a major role in getting more done. So I went into this knowing that the key to success here was going to be outsourcing, was going to be doing this process of getting other people to help me out so that I can grow the business. So I made 2 very important steps. I'm going to tell you what these steps are right now. Would anyone like to guess before I hit the next slide? I like to ask questions. I like responses and communication, but it gives me a minute to take a sip of water. So who can guess what the steps were when I created my podcast to help grow my business with outsourcing? Thomas, any ideas? Step-by-step instructions for the editor. Yeah. See, Thomas knows what's up. First, I documented everything that I was doing. And this is so important. When you begin doing anything in your business, even today, if you are creating your first course, you're in the middle of creating your course, you're posting on social media, you're creating a blog, you're creating YouTube videos, whatever you do, I cannot stress more importantly than documenting the process. And I do this with everything that I do now. When I created my podcast, I meticulously wrote down every single thing. And you can see a piece of my document here. This document is huge. I mean, big. You can see on the left-hand side, the outline: scheduling, recording, editing, transcribing, graphic design, audiograms, publishing to Anchor, posting on Facebook, posting on YouTube, active campaign, and what happens after the episode is live. When I started, I had to do it 1 or 2 times to figure out my own process, like how am I going to do this? But once I did, I began to document the process, and I wrote down meticulous notes. Okay, we're going to edit and create the show notes. First, we need to go to Google Drive. I created a template file, which is also a little tip, is anytime you can create a template file, a file that is going to be the same thing most of the time, you can just duplicate that template file and reuse it over and over again. So I created a show notes template file, and it tells you to go in there, make a copy of the template file, rename it, move it to the appropriate folder, fill out the information. It goes on and on and on. Create the title, create the summary, da, 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 da. I did this with everything. So if I don't have it here, but if you were to look in the Logic Pro, which is a program I use to edit the audio, Thomas actually helped me set some of that up. Thank you, Thomas, for some advice on good audio production in Logic Pro. I wrote down every single thing I did. So from clicking menu buttons to clicking buttons on screen to settings, that's an important one, is like what settings, +1 dB, or, whatever the settings are, you are writing those down and copying that information as you are doing it. And I did this with everything. When I created designs in Canva, when I created audiograms on Headliner, when I published episodes to Anchor, when I go into Facebook and I schedule the post to come out each week, when I do YouTube and Active Campaign, all this stuff, I meticulously wrote down every single step of the process. This does 2 things. One, it really helps you refine your process, because when you have to sit and write it out and think about it, you really nail down exactly what you want to do. And it makes it easier for you when you come back, because if I batch record episodes, and I usually do 12 or 16 episodes at a time, I might not see this document for a couple months. If I try to batch record, 12 episodes and I do everything, and then I come back 3 months later to do the next 12 episodes, I have forgotten everything. I forgot what I need to do. I forgot the settings. I forgot all that stuff. So you write all this stuff down. More importantly, is once you have this document, you can hand this off to your VAs and to your freelancers. And so when I went to go hire, as Thomas alluded to, I went to go hire a audio editor for the podcast. I didn't have to teach him anything. He knew what to do because of his job title. I got on a quick call and I said, hey, this is what I'm looking for. I'm going to send you a document. If you have any questions, let me know. I sent him this document. It took 1 or 2 times for him to kind of tweak some things and me to go back and give him feedback, but he knows exactly what to do. If you go listen to previous podcast episodes in the beginning, I edited, and new episodes, which he edits now, you will not be able to tell any difference because the process is the same. I documented everything and I handed that off to him. He knows exactly what settings to put in there. This is uber important, not more than super. Okay. So document your processes. Okay. It will help you. I swear, just do this. This will really help you out. Second thing. Yeah. Explainer video to show the editor. Yeah, Thomas. Yeah. Videos, screenshots, images, anything. Like if you want to take a screenshot and put arrows and say, here's the button, or you want to do a video like Thomas is saying and do like a little mini training video, you are creating what's called an SOP, a standard operating procedural manual for your business. You get these if you've ever had a job in your life before. If you go work at McDonald's and you start your first day, what do? they give you videos to watch, and they give you a manual, and they teach you their process so that everything is uniform. It's a reason why if you go to McDonald's in the US or you go to, McDonald's in Europe, essentially you're going to get the same thing. Europe food is probably a little better than the McDonald's food, but you're going to get the same quality, right? If I go to Florida in the US and I go to California and I order a hamburger, it's going to be identical because they're training people to have a very specific set of rules that they abide by, and that's through this manual. You're creating one of these for your business. The second thing I did was I created an episode guide. This allows me to just help track the process. This is very useful. I make notes in here. I give access to the people who are working with me. I use a spreadsheet. You can use Asana or ClickUp or Notion or, Slack or some other program that lets you track this stuff. I just do everything in a spreadsheet. But basically, you can see my processes here. You can see all the live episodes. You can see the episode numbers. You can see the episodes that are scheduled to come out from this day. So next Monday is going to be Lisa Bingley. You can see the week after Simon, and then Allie, and then Latasha. You can see where we are at in the process. So all the green things, everything's been completed. P is for progress, and N is for not done. And so I just very simple, make it easy on yourself. It doesn't have to be complicated, but as you can see at the titles at the top there, schedule, notes, recorded, edited, anchor, images, transcribe, audiograms, WordPress, YouTube. What I have done there is I've mimicked what's in my SOP. So it's the same things. So when my guy goes in and he edits the audio, he pulls up that manual, he knows what to click on. Now he doesn't have to look at it because he's done it so many times, but he looks at the manual, he edits the audio, and he sends it off to be reviewed. And typically nowadays, I don't even have to review it because he does such a good job. I know he's doing it and I don't have to worry about it. But I go in, I review it. It's an N. While he's working on it, I put a P. And when it's done, I hit a Y. Shows me very quickly what needs to be done. I know right now that the notes for this Monday's podcast has not been completed. It has not been transcribed. WordPress is in progress, which means I've done some of it, but it's not complete. In YouTube, I've uploaded it, but the transcription is not there. So I know exactly where I'm at all times. You can see below that, Simon, same thing, but I haven't finished the audiograms and I haven't published to Facebook. So I know exactly where I'm at in the process, right? So you want to create these two documents. You want to have something that's telling people exactly what to do, and then a document like this, because when you start hiring multiple people, I have a transcriber, I have an audio editor and different people. I need to know where we're at because it can get confusing very quickly. You can automate this process. You can use software like Asana or ClickUp. I just use a spreadsheet, but these are the documents you want to create. So with these two documents, I was able to start hiring freelancers to do the heavy lifting and free up hours and hours of my time. Do you see how putting together a system in place to document and outsource the work can actually save you time in your own business? Does this help? Let me know in the comments, in the chats. Does this help you out? Is this something new to you? Have you thought about this before? Are you doing this already, or have you never done this before? Let me know right now if this is helping you out. And then we will move forward. I'm sure Thomas is already doing a lot of this. He's ahead of the game, doing some really great stuff. If you haven't checked out his stuff on Udemy, definitely do so. I've done it for other things, but not course creation. It's smart. Yeah, it's important, and I do it now for everything. Yeah, Slack's great for communication. I said Slack. I don't know if Slack actually does project management, but I know some of those other programs I mentioned do. I do this for everything. So when I started blogging, I created one for my blog. When I even these training videos that you're watching now, I've created template files, and I've created the same training episode guide. I have all my ideas in there. I have, today I'm recording. I had to create these slides. So today when, I had the slides done, I checked it off. And then as I record this, I will put a Y and say, yes, the recording's done. What's next? I need to edit it. I need to publish it. I need to send an email out. So I do this for everything. Yeah, spreadsheets are organized. It depends on how many people you have. If you have a big team, 8, 10, 12 people, it might get a little clunky, but you can share the spreadsheet with people as long as you trust them to make edits in it. The good thing, you could probably find a way to do this with Zapier or with something. The good thing about using a program like Asana or ClickUp is that you can have automation set in place where when one task is completed, it will notify another person. So for instance, if my audio editor finishes a task and he checks it off, there's an automatic message that will shoot over to the transcriber and say, hey, this episode is complete. Go ahead and start your transcriptions. You could probably do that in Excel, but I haven't found use for it enough to pay for it right now. So let's move forward. Green dot, red dot. I love this. This is a technique that I learned from Steve J. Larson. He talks a lot about offer creation. His nickname is a capitalist pig, which I think is pretty funny. I learned about him through the ClickFunnels group and the one funnel away challenge. He talked about this concept, and I took this concept to heart. It made a lot of sense to me in the way that my brain thinks. I want to share it with you. Hopefully it helps you out. So would you like to learn what tasks to outsource and which ones you should be focused on? So this is a very important thing, is like, okay, Jeremy, like I know I should outsource and I know I should create these documents, but I don't know what tasks should I outsource and like what should I do? Who here believes that? Let me know in the comments or the chats. Are you someone who struggles with trying to figure out, like, if you wanted to start outsourcing today, like what would you do? You know, I can help you. I have a trick and it's amazing. Yeah, I'd have no idea where to start. I understand. I didn't in the beginning either. I was I knew that editing was a big one. Like editing to me as an online course creator, it takes up the most time. And I love editing. I actually come from a production background. I come from a world of graphic design, computer animation, creating videos, audio, lighting production. I love editing. It's fun, you know, but I realized it was not the best use of my time because I need to focus on bigger strategy, more important things. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. I love editing, but when I pass that off, I knew it would save me hours and hours of time. There's probably nothing more time, in my opinion, than the editing process. So unless it's something you really love to do and you don't know what to outsource first, that's one to begin with. But let's talk about this. So green dot, red dot. This is what you're going to do. You are going to write out every single thing that needs to be done. Now, this can be a to-do list, a checklist, whatever. You can do it in an app. I do it on a sheet of paper, usually a whiteboard. I love whiteboards. If I could have my whole house in whiteboards, I probably would. My wife would kill me, but I put whiteboards everywhere. I have ones that on stands and ones on walls. And I have one that I even travel with. If I go to a hotel or something, I can bring my whiteboard with me. I made a joke the other day. We started skiing and I told her, I have this whiteboard. It's very light and I have a little stand that you can fold up. And I was joking with her that I was going to go down the slopes on the snowboard with my whiteboard. And as I'm snowboarding, I could be like making funnels and stuff. So go ahead and write out all of your to-do list. Okay, what needs to happen? You need to script videos, you need to record videos, you need to edit them, you need to create the landing page and the logo and the thumbnails, you need to be posting on social media and building that audience, you need to write emails. Maybe you're going to be speaking at some live events. You need to reach out to leads and see if there's people who want to buy your program. Maybe you want to sell a beta program and try to get some customers in and pay you up front for a beta or a pilot program. You want to upload the videos. You need to write the titles and descriptions. Maybe you want to research some new equipment that you want to purchase. Oh, by the way, it's tax season. You got to pay your taxes. And, you know, that made me remind myself that I need to look at my budget because I don't know where money's going and going out. So let's write all those things down. Let me grab a quick sip of water. And this is what you're going to do. You're going to make a giant green dot next to only the revenue generating activities in your business, specifically the biggest revenue generating activities in your business. So you go through this list line by line and you say to yourself, if I script a video, is that bringing in money? Well, yes, in a roundabout way, but not immediately. Same thing with recording videos and editing. If I create a landing page, does that bring in money? Well, it will eventually, but not really. Creating a logo, no. Thumbnails, no. Posting on social media, Writing emails, If I speak at a live event and I get the people at the event to buy my course, yes, that's going to make me money. If I reach out to leads and DM them or call them or get on a Zoom call and I get them to purchase my online course, that will make money. Or maybe if I sell a beta program and I can get people to go ahead and pay me up front before the course is created and go through that beta cycle, yes, that will make me money too. These are revenue generating activities. These are important. Upload videos? No. Titles? Definitely not. Researching equipment? Definitely not. Paying taxes? No, that's money going out. Reviewing my budget? Not really. Okay. So you want to put a giant green dot next to the things that will make you money now, the things that are really going to propel your business forward. Then you're going to put little green dots next to the things that will make you money eventually, or in the short or in the long term, or only the things that you can do that no one else can do. So for instance, I'm the only person that can script my videos. Yes, I can hire a person to script my videos, but generally it's my material, my brain. I need to write that down. I really can't outsource that. Record videos. I could, there are business models that you could hire someone to do your videos for you and hire an actor, but not me. I do my own videos. I'm here on live with you. I haven't hired someone else, doing these live videos only I can do. So record videos only I can do. Edit videos. I could have someone else do that. Landing pages, logos, thumbnails, posting on social media. Yeah, it's nice if I do it, but you can outsource that pretty easily too. Writing emails, I could have a copywriter, right? Uploading videos, don't need to be doing titles, descriptions, copywriter. Researching equipment, it's fun, takes a lot of time. Maybe I don't need to do that. Paying taxes, yeah, I got to do that. I don't have an accountant that just does that automatically for me yet. Reviewing my budget, that's a personal thing. Yeah, I need to do that. So you put a big green dot next to the biggest revenue generating ideas, and then you put a little green dot next to things that will not as big revenue generating. They're not going to make you money today. Maybe they will in the future, or only the things that you can do. Then you're going to stick a red dot that isn't any of those things, not something that's making you money and not something that only you can do. You're going to put a red dot next to these. So edit videos, creating landing page, logo, thumbnails, social media, emails, uploading videos, titles and descriptions, and researching equipment. So the big green dots are for your most profitable actions, revenue generating things that you need to do. Those are your most important things. You need to do that now. Get out there, get some leads, speak at that live event, sell your beta program, get some money in the business. Without revenue and without profit, there is no business. You have a hobby. Okay. Hate to break the news to you, but that's what it is. Scripting videos, recording videos, paying taxes, reviewing the budget. Things that might make money in the future. So if I create a new course and I script the videos and record them and get it out there, I might make some more money. Paying taxes and reviewing the budget, only I can do those, right? The red dots are the things that you do not need to be doing and shouldn't be doing and can be outsourced to someone else. Again, editing videos. I love to edit videos. It's a big time suck. Literally, 1 hour of video could take you 8, 12, 16 hours of video editing, depending on how crazy you're going to get with it. Creating landing pages. There's designers out there. I have a graphic design background. I hire designers. I know how to do graphic design. I teach courses in graphic design theory. I don't do graphic design. It's not something that's generating revenue for my business. I don't need to be focused on that. Even though I love it, I'd rather have someone else do it. And there's much better graphic designers out there than me. Creating logos, definitely not. Creating thumbnails, definitely not. Posting on social media, you might want to do lives yourself, but if you're just posting questions in a Facebook group, or you're trying to get people into your group, or posting images on Instagram or something like that, you can outsource that stuff. You don't need to be doing that. Writing emails, you might want to interject your personality and who you are into the emails, but you can have someone write emails who knows email marketing. Uploading videos, definitely not. Have a VA do that. There's no reason why you should be in front of your computer spending hours upon hours waiting for your computer to finish uploading, and you can't do any work because you're waiting for that to happen when someone else can do that for you. Or you can send that off, or you can upload it to Google Drive and let them send it off to the online course platform, right? Writing titles and descriptions, a copywriter can do that. Researching, I've had people research my market for me before. I said, hey, I want to find out who's doing this in this market. Can you give me some research? Or equipment. hey, I want to buy some new lighting equipment. There's thousands of lights out there. Can you do some quick research? I can pay you, whatever on $5 or $20 or something. And someone can give me a detailed list of the cheapest equipment, the best equipment, the, equipment, the lighting that has the best, features and functions, whatever. So you go through and you do this green dot, red dot method. Green dots, big revenue generating activities. Little green dots are little revenue generating activities, or only things that you can do. Red dots are things that need to be outsourced. Get rid of those. Get them off your plate. Don't do them. They're wasting your time. Okay. So does this help you understand which tasks you shouldn't be focusing on so that you can work on the most profitable tasks in your business? So Emily, back to you. You don't know what to do. This is what you do. Today, tomorrow, when you have a free moment, sit down and be like, what is everything that I need to do in my business? Like, what are all the little things that need to happen? I have a whiteboard in that room right there, and it's vertical, and it's like 3 by 5 feet, and it is full of every task that needs to be done. And as I go, I do these dots, and I check things off and cross things off, and I realize, like, yeah, why am I doing this? This is a waste of time. Someone else can do this. Or man, I need to do this now, because if I do this, if I sell my beta program today, or if I get on a call and I close my program, my high ticket program, I can make money today. I need to be doing that. I don't need to be sitting there editing videos. I need to be on the phones, calling people, going on Zoom calls, and making money. Cool. Awesome, Michael. Just look out for the email in the next day or two, and you can get the replay. Thanks for coming on, helping me out in the beginning, kind of tweak some things. I really appreciate it. Okay, so opportunity cost. So this is another thing that I wanted to speak about, and we'll try to get through this pretty quick. I know we're up on the hour, and I want to give some time for Q&A. So I know the next question that you have in your mind that pops up is, well, I don't have money to spend on outsourcing. Like, yeah, Jeremy, this is great and everything, but my business isn't making a whole lot of money, and I don't really want to spend any money. I'm trying to bootstrap and do everything myself. I get it. I did it myself. I understand. I know where you're at because I've been there before, and I'm trying to save you time and money, right? So when I began outsourcing, I realized how much time it was freeing up for me to focus on revenue generating tasks for my business. Going back to the GarageBand course, when I did that and I was like, hey, dude, 5 hours of video, can you do this for me? I'll pay you some money. And I got a guy on Fiverr, and like, he was like reasonably cheap, and he did it. I was like, this is amazing. I just cleared my whole week up. Like, now I can make another course, or I can focus on getting people into the course. It totally changed my perception of like how to run a business, right? I started to look at the opportunity cost of not outsourcing more work to be done in the business. Who here knows, who's watching, what opportunity cost is? Anyone know the definition? Okay, so Thomas says no, don't. Okay, this is opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is the loss of potential gain from other alternatives when one alternative is chosen. This is what you are losing to gain by doing something doing something else than what you should be doing. So, for example, I was trying to think of an example of this. Let's say that your friend calls you up, and your best friend's like, hey, I got tickets to see our favorite band, and they're decent seats, but I would really, really love for you to go with me. The tickets are $50 or something. And you're like, I don't have $50. This is my favorite band, but I just can't afford it right now. And I know it'd probably be fun, but you said the seats are decent. I don't think I'm going to go. Right. And so you don't go. And then you talk to your friend the next day, and you're like, hey, how was that show? And your friend is like, you missed out. This show, first of all, was amazing. Second of all, they messed up my tickets, and I didn't have seats. And so what they did was they comped my ticket, and they actually moved me to the front row. Not only did they move me to the front row, but when the band was done playing, they were walking across the stage, and they saw me. They saw how much I love this band and was excited, and they invited me backstage, and I got to meet them. I got autographs. We spent some time together. It was a blast. You should have been there. Well, that $50 is kind of silly for you not to go see and meet your favorite band, right? So that is what opportunity cost is. It's what you are missing out by making decisions. So in your business, you make decisions every day, and there are things that you actually lose out on by the decisions that you're making. So we can calculate this. How much is your time worth to you? Let me know in the chat. I know there's only a couple people watching. If y'all wouldn't, I know y'all have been responding. I really do appreciate it. If you're watching a replay of this, drop them in the comments. What is your time worth to you? Go ahead and let me know right now. Like if you were to say, I'm going to charge so much for my time and be reasonable, you know, what would that be to you? I'll give some examples while you answer. So let's say you work in a fast food chain like that McDonald's. Your time may be worth only $15 an hour or less. That's what they're paying you. When you go into work, they pay you $15 an hour. When you leave work, you're not making any money. Your time is worth $15 an hour. That's what you have told McDonald's or this fast food chain that you are worth. I'm worth $15 an hour. I'll work for you an hour. You pay me $15. Okay. If you work in a trade, let's say you have some skill or something, you might be able to charge a little more. Maybe your time's worth $20 or $25 or $30. Okay. So you go in and you're a carpenter, or you're an audio production guy, or you're doing something that's a trade and it's not minimum wage, but you get a little more money and your time's worth that. Let's say you hop on a call and you can close a sale for your online course, and that program is $1,000, and you can close that sale in an hour. Then we could say, I mean, these are just kind of numbers that I threw in here. We could realistically say that your time is worth $1,000 an hour, because if you can make $1,000 in an hour, then that is what your time is worth to you. Let's say that we average our time to be $500 an hour based on what we sell and the tasks that we do every day in our business. So, you know, if someone, I charge more for this coaching people. So if someone called me up and said, hey, Jeremy, I need an hour of your time or whatever, you know, I could charge, you know, more than this, but let's just use $500 as a general number. I like to use even numbers so it makes sense to you. These numbers can fluctuate and change all over the place, but this is just an example. Let's say that you think about your business, how much money you can make in your business and your online course, and you say, my time is worth $500 an hour. I'm not going to take a job at McDonald's for $15 an hour, because I know that if I sell some courses, I can make way more than that, right? Now imagine you're editing videos for a new course, and that course is 5 hours long. So if you are worth $500 an hour and you multiply that by 5 hours, you are putting in $2,500 worth of work editing. So you're calculating your time and how much you charge for your time in your editing, right? That's what your worth of work is. That's what your work is worth. Sorry. So if instead you invested those 5 hours into making sales for your course, instead of editing, you would be bringing in an additional $2,500. So in one scenario, you're editing, you're wasting $2,500 editing. In the other scenario, you do the green dot, you realize you hop on some calls and you make some sales, and now you're bringing in $2,500. Which one's more valuable? You know, 5 hours of editing or 5 hours of making sales? This is opportunity cost. The opportunity cost of you editing videos means you're not making sales. You get it? So this is important, because you need to understand that while you are trying to save money in your business by not paying someone to do something, you are losing out on money. You are actually giving away money because you are sit there editing and posting on social media and creating a landing page when you could be paying someone else to do that for you. So by editing, you're not generating revenue that you could be making. And instead of editing those 5 hours, let's say that you could hire someone to edit them for you for $500. So let's say that we hire an editor and he charges $100 an hour, and we want 5 hours, $500. Pretty simple, right? So you spend the $500. Now you have freed up 5 hours of your day. Who here would like 5 hours of their day freed up right now? I know I would. And I already outsourced a lot of stuff. I want to outsource more. I want to find more people, because I realize successful entrepreneurs, millionaires and billionaires, make money and start buying their time back. They start hiring people to do the tasks, right? Elon Musk doesn't sit there and create the spacecraft. He has someone else do that. He's the visionary. He's the big planner. He has an idea. He makes the money. He sells the thing. He markets the thing. And then he goes out there, gets the sales and this revenue in, and then hires the scientists and the builders and the engineers to put the things together. But he's not sitting there tinkering, trying to figure out how to build a spacecraft, right? I mean, I'm sure he has some input, but that's not his job. He's buying back his time. He's freeing up his hours, okay? So you work and now you can generate revenue and sell your course. So in the time that you work on leads and prospects, let's say that you can sell your course, which is $1,000, to 3 people in that 5-hour time frame. So for instance, let's say I have an online course. The course is $1,000. I have 5 hours. I have a bunch of prospects. I call five of those prospects, and 2 of them tell me they don't want it, and I sell the other 3. Okay, I just made $3,000 in a 5-hour time frame. I sold 3 courses at $1,000 and I made $3,000 in revenue. That means you made $3,000 in 5 hours minus the $500 for the editing, and you now profit $2,500. So you take the $3,000 in your 5 hours, you subtract your expense, which is your video editor, you made $2,500. $2,500 divided by 5 hours is $500 an hour. This is what you're worth. This is what your time is worth. I know in 5 hours, if I call 5 people, 2 of them will tell me no, 3 will say yes. I'll make $3,000. I'll pay the guy to edit the videos for me. And now I'm worth $500 an hour because I'm worth a lot more because I can make the business money. I can work on the big green dots. Why work on the little red dots that aren't making me money and someone else better than me can do when I can be making money for the business? Is this making sense? I hope so. This is what we call opportunity costs. Opportunity costs is you're missing out making money because you're sitting there editing or posting on social media or writing emails or creating landing pages or designing thumbnails or making a logo or working on WordPress or all this other junk that you don't need to be doing. Okay. This, I'm telling you, has skyrocketed in my business because now I have people working on my podcast. I have writers writing for the blog. I just started YouTube. The next person I'll hire will probably be someone editing my YouTube videos because I know that YouTube will bring me traffic. Traffic will turn into prospects. Prospects will turn into leads. Leads will become sales. And I know through the process of posting on YouTube, I'm going to make money, but I'm not going to sit there and edit YouTube videos. It's a waste of my time. I'm big picture. I'm looking at the vision of the business. I can hire people who can do the YouTube editing for me. By spending money to free up your time, you can now focus on more revenue generating tasks and big picture ideas to grow your business faster. So back to this graph, this is what happened when I started outsourcing video editing for my courses back in the days of Udemy, 5-6 years ago. I was able to spend more time scripting and recording new content, publishing more content faster, and it grew my revenue exponentially. I didn't have this little leap. I had this giant leap in my revenue. I'm not going to share my numbers with you, but those little lines are big numbers of money. So I went from making okay, decent pocket change money to now I quit my job. I'm traveling with my family and supporting my family and doing all the things we've ever wanted to do money. Right. And you can see that that happened when I started outsourcing. So that day forward, I started outsourcing all my editing. I had other people editing my courses. I had other people helping me with different things, graphic design, copywriting, email marketing, social media, whatever it is. Went into editing, freeing up more time so that I could create more courses, more content, and sell more. That is the importance of outsourcing and hiring off these people to do this stuff for you. So do you see how you may be missing out on a bigger opportunities by working in your business instead of on your business? This is a phrase that we hear often in the entrepreneur space. When you're editing, you're in your business. You're typing away, editing videos. I want to be working on my business. I want to be big strategy, thinking about the overall view of how I am able to actually grow this business more. I want to be working on it, not in it. Yes, it makes sense. Absolutely. Great. So in this training, you learn how to free up your time by outsourcing non-revenue generating tasks with the system so that your freelancers know exactly what to do. The simple green dot, red dot framework that will let you know exactly what tasks to outsource and which ones only you should be doing, and how you may actually be losing out on money with opportunity cost by not outsourcing more work. So it is vital for your business that you begin to grow and let others handle the day-to-day tasks. It is super vital. I can't stress it enough, which they may be better at doing anyway. I mentioned that earlier. Some of these people are so much better at you doing the thing than you're doing the thing. So if you're not good at it, it's not making you money, let someone else do it. This which will help you free up your time, help you make more money, and actually build a sustainable business for long-term growth. So I have a question for you. Would anyone here be interested in working with me to help you free up your time, make more sales, and grow your online business? So I'm a big strategy guy. I can help all these things with you. I can look at the strategy. I can see what you're doing, where your pitfalls are, and the things in your business that I can help you with. If you're interested, head on over to onlinecourseigniter.com/book, and you can book a call with me. You'll fill out a quick little application. I'll just ask you some questions. There will be a calendar link. You can book a time. We'll hop on a call, and I'll see how I can help you out in your business. And I'll go through and we'll strategize. We'll make a plan. And then if it's good fit and I feel like I can help you and you can get good value from me, then we'll move forward with the process and see if that's a good fit for both of us. So if that's something you're interested in, head over to that link, onlinecourseigniter.com/book. I know we ran over a little bit. We started a little late. I'm going to start doing these on time. So in the future, if you want to watch these trainings, go to onlinecoursetraining.com. Go ahead and sign up Thursdays at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific time. Make sure that you're on time, because I'm going to start doing these a little more on time. I've been kind of slack and letting people kind of funnel in, but I really don't want to hold people up any more than I have to, and I want time for Q&A. So let's go ahead and do that now. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask away, whoever's watching this, and I'll help you out. If there's no questions, we'll wrap it up. But if you want to know anything, it doesn't have to be about this specifically, anything regarding course creation, marketing, selling, hiring, scaling your business, any of that stuff, let me know in the chat, and I'll be happy to answer anything that you have. Y'all got anything? If not, just say you're good, and I'll just close it out. But if you have a question, go ahead and type in the chat now. Just let me know. Okay, Emily said she had a question, but then she forgot it. So yeah, post in the group. If you want to come hang out in our group, we have a great group. There's a lot of very successful online course creators in there. There's also a lot of new people in there creating courses and trying to grow a community of people who are interacting and helping one another. So you can go to onlinecourseigniter.com/community. Emily's going to post her question in there. So if you want to see her question and my answer to it, go check out. How much do you typically pay your video editor? Let's see. It's been a little while since I've actually hired out a video editor. Let me think about this for a minute. What was the last rate that I did? Because I think I was paying on a like per hour or per project basis. I want to say now it's like around the 80 to 100, 15 to 18. I was paying a little less. See, I think the last ones I did was on a project basis. When I first started out, like the GarageBand course, I think that one was a little cheaper. I think that was like $15 to $20 range. But no, I pay people a little more than that now. I was going to say, I think it's like closer to 80 to 100, but it was on a per project basis. So it was like a lump sum, and that's of content. So it might take them 2 hours to do an hour of video editing, which would be like, say $40. I'll check. I'll go back and look, and I'll let you know about that one. I found, Thomas, it depends on what you need. So if you're doing like very basic video editing, just like jump cuts or just some basic cuts and nothing too fancy, you can hire someone on the cheaper end. On the higher end, you're going to get people who are going to be a little more professional. Maybe they can do things like color grading. They can do things like graphics, transitions and stuff like that. So it kind of depends on what you're charging for. But nowadays I pay a little more for people because I really want people who are really know what they're doing, who are the professionals, and who are also are going to stick with me. The people who are a little cheaper, like if you go to Fiverr and maybe you hire someone at a cheap rate, the quality might not be there. And I find that those people tend to fall off. I've even had people ghost me before, which is kind of annoying. So nowadays I try to build relationships with people. I try to work with like one or two main people. So like my audio editor for the podcast, like I pay him like, I actually don't, I pay him really good. And I don't even feel like I pay him enough. I feel like I could pay him a lot more. He's making pretty decent money. And as an audio engineer, as his main job, I think that he's undercharging. And I feel like I could actually, pay him a little bit more. I'm trying to get to that point. I also feel like I started off with him just editing audio, and I taught him some new things. So like publishing to Anchor for the podcast. He does that now for me. So when he's done editing, he uploads it to the transcription service and uploads it to Anchor. So it's like, if you pay people a little bit more, you're going to have people who are more invested into the business, and you're going to have a better candidate and people who are going to stick with you longer. And you can start giving them more tasks as you build that trust and that relationship. So in the beginning, he was just editing audio. Now he's doing more. I'm going to raise his pay rate and give him another task, which is creating the audiogram. So on social media, when you see those videos I do of the quotes and you see the little waveform, that's an audiogram. I'm going to teach him how to do. I think he can do that now that he's learned the other processes. That's the other thing too, is as you start hiring out, start off simple and build up. But I find that if I don't pay people, if it's a very simple video and it's something real easy, and it's like I just need it one time or whatever, I'll pay $15-20 or whatever. But if someone's going to be with me long term, I want good quality. I want to make sure that the settings are right. I want to make sure that the quality is there, that they know what they're doing, that they can make it look better than me. Again, it's that opportunity cost. If I pay someone even $100 an hour, and they, work 10 hours and make $1,000, but I turn that course and can make $10,000 off of it, it's worth it to me because it's got great quality. But again, it all kind of depends on what you're having them do. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Lately I've been doing more editing for videos myself because I haven't done a full-length course in a couple years. I've been more coaching, doing these live videos. So for instance, when this video is done, I will go ahead and I will trim off the beginning and the end of the video. I'll just make the audio a little nicer and the color a little nicer, and I'll export it. Like that'll take me literally like 10 minutes. So I could outsource that, but it would take me more time to upload the video and then download it than for me to just pop in there and do it. Now, when I begin doing my YouTube videos, I did the first one because I wanted to figure out my style, but that's something I'll outsource. And so I'll start looking at YouTube videos and look at the going rate, and then I'll pay someone to do the videos. And hopefully I can find someone who knows YouTube so that I can pay them to do the editing and upload it to YouTube with the descriptions and the tags and titles and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. So if anyone's watching and doesn't see the chat, Thomas says, with the cheapest people, I always end up going through the videos and correcting them any ways, which can take as long as just doing it from scratch. Exactly. That's the problem, is you hire people on the bottom of the barrel who might charge $10 an hour or something, and you're like, yeah, it's not good because they're not a professional at it. If they're charging $10, then they're charging what they're worth, and that means your quality is not that good. You go find the guy who has, tons of star reviews and is charging $80 or $100 an hour, and that guy's a professional. It's probably his day job or what he's been doing for, Thomas, you're an audio guy. Like, would you charge $10 an hour to edit audio? I highly doubt it, because you're a professional audio engineer. You're not going to go sell your services for that cheap. So I would rather pay you $100 an hour to edit my audio and have a, highly skilled professional do it than pay some guy $10 an hour who doesn't know what they're doing. And I got to go back and correct it. And you're wasting more time, because not only are you having to hire them, but you're also having to communicate with them. You're having to fix their work, go back and forth, make revisions. It ain't worth it. This audio editor that I have for my podcast, I showed him 2 times what I wanted and gave him that document. And I don't even check his work anymore. Don't tell him that. He probably thinks I still do, but I trust the guy. And if the audio sounds bad and there's any mistakes, then you can blame him and not me. No, but seriously, I hired a professional. I pay him what he's worth, and I don't have to go back and the first couple of times, once he got my workflow and saw kind of the things I was looking for, he was over editing. That's the funny thing. I had to keep telling him, I'm like, dude, you're editing too much. Like, I don't need every and am. Yes, it sounds magnificent and I appreciate it, but you're killing time. Don't worry about it. It's okay. So he was almost doing too much. I had to tell him a couple of times to knock it off and just edit it, pretty basically. So yeah, pay people what they're worth. Get good people, find the people that are going to stick with you. The cheap people don't stick around long. They are trying to, someone who's $10 an hour has to make 10 jobs for the guy who's charging $100 an hour and can have one job. So the guy at $100 an hour, you can be his sole client, and he knows that he can make his money that he needs to make off of you, and he's going to stick with you for a long time. I forget what episode I hired the guy for the audio for the podcast, but I think it was like 50 episodes ago. He's made some pretty good money working with me. But again, I haven't had to hire someone new. I'm not churning over people quickly. So if I were to hire someone for $10 an hour, the job's not that important to them. They have to take on more clients to make more money. And I am not a priority. And so therefore, he might quit doing the work, or the work might be subpar. Again, you have to go back and correct it. Where this guy, I know that he's doing a great job. He's sticking with me. He doesn't want to go anywhere. I don't want him to go anywhere. And I'm very happy with that. So awesome. Very cool. Well, if you have any more questions, go ahead and head over to the community, onlinecourseigniter.com/community, pop them in there. If you would like for me to work with you and figure out your business and what you're doing, whether you're starting the journey of creating an online course or you need help with marketing your current online course, I can definitely help you do that. If you need to scale your business and you would like some more advice, and I can even, send you my scripts and things that I use for my VAs, and you want to hire out some potential people to do work for you, I can help you with that. Go to onlinecourseigniter.com/book. I hope to hear from you. Thank you, everyone, for coming on the call today. I really appreciate you being here, and I think it was great. Again, we're going to do these every Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific time. Go to onlinecoursetraining.com. You can sign up. You have to sign up to get the link. Once you have the link, you can use it for every training. Each Monday, I'll send out a message and let you know what that Thursday's training is going to be on. And then I will do the replays for anyone who signs up. So enjoy, everyone. Have a good day. I appreciate you being here, taking your time out of your busy day to watch this. Hopefully it helps, and we'll talk soon. See ya.